To the New York Times, ladies and gentlemen, huge news. Trump amplifies another outlandish conspiracy theory. Biden is a robotic clone. President Trump posted another user's false claim that the former president had been executed in 2020 and replaced by a robotic clone. I don't think Trump is serious when he posts these things. He's goofing off. You know, it's remarkable. I'm not going to get into it just now. Maybe we can talk about it later. But, you know, Glenn Greenwald had that video leak. And I was sitting here before the show with Kellen, and then I was like, "Who even like? What do I even say about that? I don't even care." So I tweeted, "Glenn Greenwald is gay?" Question mark. You know, as like that was the joke. Like, come on, who doesn't know that? And tons of these people took it seriously. They were like, "Duh, you didn't know that?" Of course. Donald Trump does not think that Joe Biden is actually a robot clone.
I don't know, man. I mean, the only thing outlandish about this is that it's 2020. I think it was probably way before 2020.
To be fair. What does Trump know about our ability to make robot clones?
Look at those years.
So this is the old Biden by Dan conspiracy theory. You can see it's all grainy because, like, I can't find this anymore.
They really had to pull that skin tight if that's not, if it's not a robot. But it does look like the 2021 Biden definitely looks like he's a skull.
You know, if he was a robot, he wouldn't be stuttering and falling apart.
Unless they built the robot to look like an old, deteriorating man. Because someone on Twitter shared this great video side by side of Optimus walking and Biden walking, and it's very similar. Well, it doesn't take much to throw some skin on one of these robots. The CIA has been making amazing skin masks forever.
Yeah.
So throw one of those on a robot.
Like in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what they say. They say President Trump shared an outlandish conspiracy theory on social media on Saturday night, saying former President Joe Biden had been executed in 2020 and replaced by a robotic clone, the latest example of the president amplifying dark, false material to his millions of followers. Mr. Trump reposted a fringe rant from another user had made on the president's social media platform, Truth Social. Just after 10 p.m. on Saturday, the White House did not respond to requests. Bro, I know exactly what Trump is doing. Like, me and the boys were out at the bar and we're chilling, and then someone's like, hey, look at this, and they text me something, and then I laugh and I hit retweet. And that's what Trump's hanging out with the buddies, and they're having a cigar or something, and he's like, hey, how many of you want to see me send this tweet and make other media go crazy? And they're like, do it, Trump, you got to do it.
Or he has key intel. How many different Bidens did we see through those 4 years? There was a lot. There were green screen Bidens. There were like deep fake Bidens. He looked jump cut Bidens, robot Bidens.
Look, he looked like a skeleton for the entire time of his presidency.
Pregnancy?
Yeah. From his artificial womb as a clone.
But he didn't. I mean, there's a remarkable difference between Vice President Biden and President Biden. I mean,
even 80s Biden, 90s Biden to Vice President Biden.
I feel like when Vice President Biden was vice president like that was when he still had like the features that he had when he was 70s and 80s. Yeah. I really do feel like it was 2020 is when he was a totally different animal. I feel like when he was like, no, I'm not gonna run for president, and kind of chilled out and went into to hiding or whatever. Like, he got some work done and came back as like bionic Biden.
He was hopped up on tons of drugs.
I mean,
he was obviously a mess. He couldn't talk.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the facial structure.
And the face. Yeah, and the face he was melting.
Well, so this is what people point out.
Stretched back, not melting.
He was melting, and then they were stretching him. He was melting.
Here's what people said. If you take a look at Biden's ears in 2008, you can see he's got unattached lobes, a little floppy piece of the ear. And then Biden 2021, it's an attached lobe. And so they're saying nothing could do that. Well, to be fair, stretching his skin back real tight for a facelift, I think could do that, right?
I don't know. I think that's a little weird. That's some extra work. That's
it does look like a different person, to be honest. Like,
it does.
Yeah.
Well, old people do sag as they get older.
They sag, but do their ears attach all of a sudden?
But like, Joe Biden in 2021 doesn't look like he's sagging. It's all pulled back. Like, he looks more like a cartoon skull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you just painted his head red, he would look just like the skull from what is it, Iron Man? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the post. Okay, so actually, let me just do this. Here's Donald Trump's Truth Social account, and you can see he's just retruthed this without saying anything else. And you click it. This user says, there is no Joe Biden executed in 2020. Biden clones, doubles, and robotic engineered soulless, mindless entities are what you see. Democrats don't know the difference. And then it's quoting a Q post that is the Babylon Bee. Biden family worried they may be running out of time to exploit Joe Biden's health. Now, let's just try this. How much do you want to bet Trump shared this because it's a Babylon Bee satirical post that was making fun of it, and he just saw this, and he just hit repost?
Fair point. But I also should say then how much distance is usually between a Babylon Bee article and a not the Bee article. Because this could become true real soon.
Well, Babylon Bee is prophetic.
And the whole point of not the Bee is like, no, these sound like Babylon Bee stuff,
Right.
but they're
so
not.
We get the joke first, but then all of a sudden the real stuff comes out.
Yeah, right away.
He's reporting on it. I think we're going to find out.
Can you imagine how
fake
many
president the whole time? Fake Oval Office.
he did?
We
did a
talked
lot of
about the
fake
green
stuff.
screen thing with the boom mic. That still weirds me out where his hand went through the mic.
Yeah, he went through the mic.
That was weird. There's a whole network of fake Bidens. That it was like an illusion.
Guys, I can't keep this up. I can't keep it up, guys. I just can't keep it up. I'm so over it. Listen, everybody at home, this is all scripted. Biden's not real. Trump's not real. We all of us, including Trump and Biden, we're all cast by the CIA. The true government's been in control the whole time.
Do you see the CIA's got a renewed presence on X now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like
The funny thing is that I make that joke, but someone out there is sitting there believing it.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I'm really worried about when it comes to like security threats. Someone out there is going to genuinely believe I was serious, that we're all actors and Trump's not real. And come on, Trump's a reality TV guy. Yeah, the CIA came to all of us and said, we're going to cast him as the president, him as the real president. You know his name is?
No.
Edward Schmidt.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley.
The person
a good theory.
The person you do have to worry about is probably Canadian too.
You got to worry about them.
Yeah.
Trudeau's the real president.
So that means
He's an actor, too.
Castro's son is the real president.
He's definitely in.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is just the third casting of Biden because it's a show,
At least.
TV.
Third episode.
You don't really believe what you see on the TV, do you? Come on.
I don't believe anything I see on the internet.
That's right. So when they say Trump's the president, I'm like, just the internet again.
Yeah.
I mean, it all is just the internet.
Fair point, though. Anyone out there should read the book Weird Scenes from Laurel Canyon, which does talk about the CIA infiltrating different subcultures and putting actors in to certain places to do their bidding.
Well, there's a new conspiracy theory about in the Diddy trial, some woman came out and said that she helped Mike Myers meet with the CIA or something and liaised for like government projects. And everybody's going nuts being like, whoa, how many of these celebrities are CIA? If you Google search Mike Myers CIA, he went and did a tour of the CIA headquarters in 2008. It was all public. There's pictures. He waved, and he said that he was a fan of those who were providing a service for this country or something.
Yeah.
I don't think if he was actually working for the CIA, he'd have done that.
Yeah. No, in Laurel Canyon, the book talks about how there was the Mountain Look Observatory, which Jared Leto owned, I think, most recently. And they filmed like at least 50,000 propaganda films there with a bunch of like Hollywood stars for the government. The other theory is that the moon landing was filmed there. I won't go that far. I think it was maybe filmed elsewhere. But that Mountain Look Observatory, I won't go that far, Tim. But the Mountain Look Observatory is a
not
for
sure
real
the
place.
moon exists, right?
The moon is a thing. It's just might not be what we think it is.
Okay.
You think it's a space station?
It could be very well a space station.
Because when they hit it, it rang like a bell.
Yes. Yeah. Or it's plasma. I don't know. I haven't been there.
Did you guys see the video
Douglas.
of the people who thought the sun was a strange object?
Yeah. Sometimes people see things. It was like a red orb, and they were like, "What is this?"
I went out for a peanut butter sundae last night.
Sounds great.
Jumped in my Cybertruck, rolled down the windows. I was blasting. What music was I blasting? I think it was Seal, Kiss from a Rose or something like that.
Great song.
Full volume. Nope. It was NPR. Yeah, I was listening to NPR. You gotta listen to NPR because you gotta know what the crackpots are saying. And as I was driving, because it's only about 10 minutes to the local little ice cream place, I looked up at the sun and I was like, wow, there's a haze. And so you could actually just see the sun without hurting your eyes, and it was red. And I was like, cool. And I know that there's the wildfires in Canada and stuff, so this was expected. But there's a bunch of videos where people are like, what is that? And they're pointing the cameras at the sun.
Yeah.
And they think there's a gigantic Nibiru or Planet X.
Which is
showing up.
possible, but it wasn't that because I saw the sun last night too, setting after we did our last Inverted World live on Sunday. It was a weird red orb.
Yeah, it's just there's haze in the sky.
It happens. Yeah.
So it's blocking a lot of the light, and you can look at it.
Or Bill Gates is replacing the sun. I don't know.
Well, they wanted to. What did they want to do? They wanted to put dust in the sky to
Yeah.
reduce the penetration of solar radiation.
Bill Gates wants his ScopeX plan is to fill the sky with dust to reverse climate change.
Which is like he really does want to do that too.
Yeah.
That's well, yeah. Like it's not like it's just rumor. Like
and there's people trying it right now. I think in Washington,
UK actually passed legislation about it about blocking a certain amount of sun from the sky.
Not a good idea.
You know the saying.
Of all, the UK of all places.
The saying is, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I don't see how that's not like eco-terrorism. Like, you can just do that? I don't know.
He is an eco-terrorist.
The problem The Simpsons had is that they made Mr. Burns sound devious and mischievous and, oh, Smithers, we're going to black out the sun. Like there was some strength.
Yeah.
When it should have been more like Bill Gates, like, well, actually, I think if we put a big disc and block the sun a bit, it might reduce temperatures. And you're like, oh.
Yep.
They had that on some episodes, but that's not Mr. Burns.
Such a terrible idea, too.
Well, it's funny. I do love how Greta Thunberg is no longer all about the climate. She's all about Gaza.
Rebrand. Everyone's got to rebrand. That's the new thing.
Pivot.
Send her, yeah.
She's like dealing with her agent, and they're like, look, climate is out. Gaza is in. You got to pivot, Greta. Yeah. And she was like, oh, you sure? I don't know nothing about Gaza. And they're like, just say whatever. People believe it.
Here's a rocket launcher in a boat.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.